Okay, today what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to solve a system. Okay, solving a system. We've already solved systems by graphing. Now we're going to add the second way. Today we're going to solve systems by substitution. Now in your packet, you have a paper that says Topic 1-4, Solving Systems by Substitution, Day 2. That's where I'm getting these problems. So you can either just write these down in your notes, or you can find that topic paper and you can use it to work problems with me. Either way, you need to know how to do these. So these are examples that will help you work your problems. So here's the first system. Remember, a system is more than one equation, and you're looking to see what these lines do on the graph, most specifically where they cross. Okay, remember, three things can happen. They can either cross, they can be parallel and not cross and have no solution, they can be coinciding and have all solutions, or like I said at first, they can intersect in one point. So that's what we're looking to see. All right, if you're going to use substitution, what you need to remember to do substitution is that the number one thing you want to do is you want to set one equation equal to x or y. Now that's a big deal. We're so used to setting everything equal to y that sometimes we struggle if we're going to set it equal to x. In this equation that I'm doing right here, I'm going to set it equal to x, and I want you to know why. Okay, if you will look at x, isn't x by itself anyway? It doesn't have a number multiplied by it, so it's going to be easier to get x by itself. I have to do one thing, and that's just take this to the other side. That's the only step I have to take in getting x by itself. If I was going to get y by itself in either one of the other two equations, I would have a lot more steps. But this makes it a lot easier. So you decide, is it easier to get x by itself or y by itself? And then you can solve. Now I'm going to go ahead to the next screen, and I'm going to copy this right here. Okay, I'm going to copy the system down where I've got more to write, more room to write. So here it was again. 4x minus 2y is equal to 5. And then x minus 4y is equal to 3. Now remember, we made the decision to solve for x because it was the easiest thing to do. All right, so now what you're going to do is you're going to take the equation that you solved for x or y, whichever the case may be, happens to be x in this case, and you're going to go to the other equation and you're going to plug it in everywhere you see an x. So 4, and not x, but what is x equal to? It's equal to 4y plus 3. And then you finish out the equation. Minus 2y equals 5. Again, we're going to find where these two meet, where these two lines meet. Now we're going to distribute. That's 16y plus 12 minus 2y equals 5. Now we've got as y's. We just need to put them together, okay? I put the 16 and the negative 2 together. That's 14y plus 12 equals 5. Now I'm going to move my 12 over by subtracting it. So I have 14y equals negative 7. I'm going to divide both sides by 14, and I'm out of room, so I'm going to come over here, and that's going to be y equals negative 7 over 14, and that's negative 1/2. Okay, so now you found y. And remember, every time lines cross, okay, when two lines cross, they're at an ordered pair, and it's always going to be an xy. So what you want to do is you want to still find the x. You haven't found x yet. You just have y. So we're going to go do some substitutions so we can find out what y is. We're going to come right here, and we're going to use this equation And we're going to plug in y because we know what it is. It's a negative 1/2. We just found it. So x is going to be equal to 4 times negative 1/2 plus 3. So x is equal to, well, half of 4 is 2, but it's got a negative with it, so that's negative 2 plus 3. Put those together and x equals 1. And there's the x value. So your ordered pair that is a solution, this is where they cross. The lines cross at 1, negative 1/2. That is our solution. And we're going to put it in yellow. So this was a very consistent, independent system that crosses at this point right here at 1, negative 1/2. Okay, now then, let's work another one. Let's work this one. It's going to be a little bit different because we're going to solve it for y instead of x. So 3x plus y equals 7. 2x minus 5y equals negative 1. Now, as you look at this, the equation that's going to be the easiest to get either x or y by itself is this top one. And it's going to be easier to get y by itself because there's nothing with the y. So let's start with that. All you have to do is to move the 3x over. Now y is by itself. So at this point, you're going to take this right here and plug it back up into your other equation right there in place of that y, because this says y equals, so you're just going to replace it. Right, so we're going to say 2x minus 5 times, what does y equal? Y equals 7 minus 3x. So that's what I'm going to put in place of y. And then I just finish out the rest of the equation. Okay, now I'm going to distribute. That's negative 35 plus 15x equals negative 1. Let's put our x's together. That's 17x minus 35 equals negative 1. Then I'm going to add 35 to both sides. And I get 17x equals 34. So x equals 2 when I divide both sides by 17. All right, so there's one of my answers. Now all I have to do is take this back up here and plug it in for x. And that's going to tell me what y is. So y is equal to 7 minus 3 times, what is x? X is 2. We just found it. So we're just going to plug it back in. 7 minus 3 times 2. So that's 7 minus 6, which is 1. And there's your y value. Now here's your final answer. Put it in an ordered pair. The x goes first, and it was a 2. And then we just found y. It was 1. And that's the answer that we're looking for right there. These two lines cross on the graph at 2, 1. That's our final answer. Now let's work one more. Y equals 11 minus x, and 3x minus y equals 5. Okay, so ask yourself, which one is going to be easiest to get by itself? Well, isn't this one already solved for y? So all you have to do is to take this right here, and in your second equation right there, in place of y, you're going to put 11 minus x. So 3x minus, now be very, very careful. You got to put it in parentheses because it's minus the whole thing. And then finish out the equation. So 3x minus 11 plus x equals 5. Combine my x's, that's 4x minus 11 equals 5. Add the 11. So 4x is equal to 16. Divide by 4 and x is equal to 4. Okay, So I just found what x is. Now I'm still missing y. I'm going to go back up here where this one's at, and it says y equals, so I'm going to plug that 4 in, and I'm going to have it. Y is equal to 11 minus, we just found x to be 4, so 11 minus 4 is 7. Now there's my ordered pair. Remember, you want to put the x first, and then the y, because that's the way we list ordered pairs, and that's the solution to the system. These two lines cross at 4, 7. Now that's several examples on how to do solving systems using substitution. So you will do your packet worksheet that has been assigned to you. And I believe that it is A1-4, but Miss Davis will let you know for sure.